everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Whitney's World podcast. I am your host, Whitney Morgan Ward, and I am so thankful that you have tuned in to my 40th episode of Whitney's World podcast. Guys, this is episode 40. You have no idea what this means to me and how much I am just so elated to be here. This journey of podcasting and this show that I have put on has been one of the greatest rewards of my life. I have definitely had some great rewards, but this one is incredibly special. This is something that most people either start and quit or just don't do. And again, if you've been following me since episode 1, you know that I started this podcast solely based off of my intuition. It was something that literally called me, and I need to make sure that everything sounds good. Okay. Yes, everything is sounding great. Okay. So, by the way, I didn't even go on like my introduction. So, this is my 40th episode. And if you guys have not hopped over to YouTube, you can now officially watch me on YouTube. I am there. I am waiting for you to tune in, and please subscribe to my channel. Please like, comment, and share. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all your love and support. You guys literally mean the world to me, so thank you. So guys, please check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hop on over there. I am now doing every episode video. Unless something crazy happens, like we're going to be on video. It's been amazing. I actually really enjoy it. My brother, shout out to Josh Ward, edits the audio. And then right now, because I am trying to really learn most of this stuff too, he sends me the audio and then I actually edit the video. So this is just a testament of my 40th episode of how much I've learned, how much I have changed, how much is possible when you truly set your mind to something and you just allow yourself to be and to do the things that you feel called to do. And so again, like I was saying earlier, if you've been following me, you know that I literally started this show based off my intuition, and I am so thankful because now I sit here a completely and utterly different woman, and I can say that like from the bottom of my heart. I am a completely different person than when I started this podcast 8 months and 3 weeks ago. So next week will be 9 months since I started this journey, and like I was saying, it has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I not only have been able to reach so many more people, I have been able to trust myself. I have learned on this journey how much I can trust myself, and it has been extremely powerful for me personally. And I really feel like that's probably why I was being called to this journey, was to learn the power that I hold and the power that we have as humanity. And it has just been absolutely incredible. It has been something that I feel like now that I sit here, I feel like this was always where I was meant to be. And I was running from it for a very long time. And I was not allowing myself to really be and step into the power that I feel like I have, and also not step into my calling, which is really teaching, which is helping people, which is helping people realize that if I can do it, you can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. And really connecting those dots. You know, I have said this before, but I started real estate when I was 22 years old. And I sold my first house when I was 23. And I did it because I felt like I wanted to go down that path. I wanted to have more freedom of my schedule. I wanted to have more money. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to just really be this version of myself that was calling me to like a higher version. And I'm so thankful I did that. You know, I'm so thankful that I trusted myself and I put myself out there and I believed in myself. And I was like, I literally started real estate because this lady walked in when I was a dental assistant and she's like, I'm a realtor. And I was like, if you can do it, I can do it. And I signed up for real estate that night. And I've just always lived my life like that, like looking at other people and being like, if they can do it, I can do it. Like if they can have it, I can have it. I just got to figure out my own way to get there. I just got to figure out my own path. And so really I've been creating my own path. I've been creating my own destiny. And now it's like next level because when I was in my 20s, I was just selling real estate. But to be honest, like I wasn't the best person. I wasn't the best version of myself. I was a pretty big partier. I dealt with drug and alcohol abuse. I had some crazy exes. I did some things that I'm not proud of. And now I am obviously still selling real estate. And now I have a podcast and my life has turned into a spiritual journey. My life has went down a completely different path that is really calling me to be able to help people. It's giving me an opportunity to learn about myself, to trust myself, to realize that there's so much out there. There's so much opportunity. You just have to be willing to get uncomfortable and to just pick up the microphone, just literally pick up the camera, just start something that you feel called to do. And I know it's hard because I still struggle with it. You know, I still struggle with believing in myself and just trusting myself that something's going to happen, something's going to come up. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, but I'm just going to be surprised. And it's crazy that it just always works out, but it's because I believe it. I believe that it's going to work out. I believe that there is change. And I believe that it's meant to be. I don't want to live my life being the same version of myself for forever. And I don't want to live my life being the same person that I've been. I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to take care of people better. I want to be a leader and be an inspiration to people. And that is just part of how I feel. And sometimes I feel like we go through life feeling guilty for like the way we feel instead of just realizing that you have those feelings because they're meant to transpire. You have these feelings of whatever it is, whatever you are feeling, you are feeling that for a reason, for a purpose, and it's your choice to go and get it. It's your choice to decide that you are going to be different, that you are going to grow different, that you are going to start to plant different seeds in your mind, that you're going to start to change your mind, that you are going to start to step up and get uncomfortable doing things and start putting yourself in situations that aren't uncomfortable to get to where you feel like you should go. And that is beautiful. And that is really why we're here. We are here on this earth to grow, to build, and to move forward. And I know that we live in a world that is absolutely insane. It's literally insane what is going on. But you don't have to pay attention to that. You don't have to give your attention to the negativity. And I know that it's hard. And like, okay, for instance, so when I first moved to Florida, I got super into politics. I thought that I kind of wanted to shift and get into politics. And I don't know, I just felt like it was so corrupt and I wanted to try to fight that fight. Okay. So that was like 2022, like April. I even moved here. And I remember telling some of my friends now, like, I think I want to get into politics. And recently I was just telling them, I'm like, do you guys remember when I said that? Because no. Because then what happened was I had this feeling like I want to go fight the good fight and like try to change things and, fix things. And then what happened was I got into conspiracies and I went down like rabbit holes of conspiracy theories. And that really opened my mind up. And then I realized through my conspiracy theory journey that I didn't want to get into politics, that politics is one of those things that obviously there are people fighting the good fight and thank God for them. But I just realized, like, for me, politics is not something I want to get into anymore because it's not a fight that I'm willing to fight forever. And I feel like it's just very toxic. And politics has a very negative energy. It's very negative. And so I realized pretty soon after I got into the conspiracy world that I did not want to get into politics, that I did not want to give my attention to that chaos and that negativity. And so I just changed. And then that's really when I went on my spiritual journey. So it's interesting that like things happen in steps, but you just have to feel your way through it. And one minute you might feel like you want to get into politics. The next minute you see something, you hear something, and then you realize, you know what? I don't want to get into that. I want to get into this. I want to start studying this. I want to learn more about this. And that is so beautiful that once you start to open your world up and you really start to like pay attention and you really start to learn things and you start to, again, open your mind to other avenues and to other things that you were closed off to before, it's cool how it opens up your path and it opens you up to new opportunities and new theories and new ideas and new people because you are expanding and you are moving forward and you are trying to open your mind and learn more. And so that is where I've been. And I've really just been on this journey to continue to move forward. And one minute I might feel this way, and then the next minute I feel this way. And that's okay. That's what our feelings are for. Our feelings are here to lead us and guide us. And if you don't pay attention to the way you're feeling and you ignore those feelings and you shut the feelings down, then you're really not giving yourself the opportunity to continue to move forward and to move on. So, on this path of my self-discovery, because this is really what all of this is a self-discovery. This has like been me really journaling out loud with you guys and opening my heart and opening my world up to you. And that's why I called it Whitney's World. I call it Whitney's World because this is literally just me opening my world to you and to let people know, like, I've been through some really heavy, dark, crazy times. And it doesn't matter, because the dark times you need to get to the light. You need those dark times to show you where you don't want to be anymore. And the dark times for me really woke me up, and it allowed me to change. It allowed me to realize that I was not on the right path. And if I wanted to move forward, I had to start really feeling into my darkness. I had to really start cultivating within myself and asking myself, why do I have this darkness? Like, and why is this darkness in my life starting to show up? And what do I need to change? What do I need to start to face to allow the light to shine? And that's literally what this journey has been for me. And it has been absolutely incredible. And I really feel called to take my pain and make it my purpose, to take the hard times and the times where I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know why it was happening. I didn't know why I was going through these things. It felt so unfair. It felt so heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. And now I look back and I'm so thankful for the dark. Like, literally, without the dark, I wouldn't be here. I would not be sitting here. And, most of us can relate to that. I feel like most of us can look back at our lifetime, and, like, even with a breakup, you in the moment, breaking up is so hard and it is so emotional, and it is just takes your freaking soul away. But then, 2 months later, 3 months later, a year later, whatever, you meet someone else and you're like, I am so glad that I went through that darkness with that breakup, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here with you. I wouldn't be here experiencing this bliss. I wouldn't be experiencing this new journey, this new path. And that is something that we have to remind ourselves of. We have to remind ourselves that when we are going through chaos, when there's all this craziness in the world that seems so beyond our control, which it really is, unfortunately, we just have to remember that what we are in control of is ourselves. We are in control of our minds. We are in control of the choices we make. We are in charge of the thoughts that we have, the people that we hang out with, the behaviors that we engage with, the things that we do, the things that we don't do. And we have to just really remember that we all have a choice in this life. And we, as human beings, are so strong. And, when you look back and you've gone through something heartbreaking, and then you come out on the other side, you realize that it, like, almost gives you this superpower. Like, if I can get through that, I can get through anything. I mean, it's like the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's so true. And that is a testament to us as human beings. Like, no matter what you're going through, as long as it doesn't kill you, eventually it's going to make you stronger. And you're going to look back at that pain in your life, and you're going to have a story, and you're going to have a purpose, and you're going to have something that you can relate to other people, and you can, encourage other people. Like, I've been through this. If I can get through this, you can get what you're going through. And that's why I love podcasting. That's why I love social media. I really love to hear and see inspiring stories. And we all do. We all love the inspiration. We all love the person that almost died in the car accident but didn't, and came back and wrote the book and did the thing and learned about themselves and now is traveling the world, speaking, helping other people. You know, we all love those stories, and to an extent we all have them. And sometimes we share them on a smaller scale, and sometimes, you know, people share them on a larger scale. But no matter where you're at on your journey, no matter where your darkness is, it is going to lead you to the light if you allow it. But what people get trapped into is not shining the light, and they just live in the darkness, and they just continue to live in the chaos, and they don't move forward. And they think, well, these are the cards that I'm dealt, and it is what it is. But it is not. It is not. That's not your story. That's not what we're here to do. We are literally all here we are all creators. We are all here to create. We all have the divine spark inside of all of us. Now, not all of us wake that up, but we all have it. We all have access to that. We all have that in us. And it's your responsibility to find it at all costs. And that's really what I've done. I've really gone deep within myself and kind of been on a journey where I feel like whatever it takes, I am willing to do whatever it takes to be free and to be the best version of myself and to become the caterpillar and be in that mushy place where I'm just crumbling and nothing makes sense and nothing seems fair, but life isn't fair. And we all have hard times. And I think that's why I love social media and I love podcasting, because you get to hear other people's stories and you get to realize that we all go through really terrible things. And it gives us this inspiration to realize that as long as you're willing to keep going and keep getting up, you're going to get through it. And you're the one that's in control of it. And you're the one that has that choice to continue to move forward, to continue to, at all costs, whatever it takes, go get yours. Go be the person you want to be. And something that I really had to do, because I had to change myself a lot during this journey. I had to stop hanging out with, you know, certain people. I had to stop putting myself in rooms with people that I just needed to move away from to grow. And also, that's okay. And though sometimes it's really hard to do that, it's very important. If you are a toxic human being and you have toxic human beings with you, but you want to like move out from that lifestyle, you have to change basically everything about you. And that's people. And I've said this before, but if I wouldn't have left Colorado, there's no way. There's no way that I would be doing this. There's no way that I would be here. There's no way that I would be on the spiritual journey that I'm on. There's no way that I would have the confidence I have. And there was no way that I would have gotten out of that caterpillar. But I wouldn't be becoming the butterfly that I'm meant to become. And you wouldn't either. And you won't either if you're not willing to really change and transform your life at all costs. And a lot of that also is actually being alone. It's really being alone, willing to cut everyone off, everything off, to move away from all your toxic habits and to really start to surround yourself with people that you want to become like. And so for me, that was, I really relied on podcasters. I relied on books. I relied on, I changed a lot of the people I was following on social media to become this version because I was following a lot of celebrities and they're very toxic. And I'm not going to get into that. But I had to change almost everything. And I really had to change my mind. I had to start focusing on myself and being alone and just filling my mind with new things that I'd never learned before, that I was never taught. I was never taught in school. I was never taught in church. I was never taught a lot of these things. And so when I went down this path and I opened my mind, I naturally started changing because I was opening my awareness to something different. And that's what's so beautiful about being on this journey is that when you start to make the changes and you start to do the things and move yourself out of your old toxic behaviors, you start being shown new things that you're meant to be shown. And, for me, I had to allow myself to be shown. I had to start to become aware. I had to start realizing that there was so much more going on in this world that I wasn't even aware of because I wasn't even paying attention. And so I started to pay attention to everything around me. I started to pay attention to nature. I started to pay attention to numbers. And I started to look into these things on a deeper level. And it was something that got brought to my awareness though. And so I would listen to other people in like spiritual spaces talk about, numbers, and these numbers mean things, and the moon is very powerful and the sun is powerful, and going to the sunrise is one of the most highly vibrational, energetic things you can do. And I started to do it, and then weird things in my life started happening for the better. And all because I was just paying attention and I was opening my awareness to new things that I had never opened my awareness to. And so just know that no matter where you're at and no matter what's happening for you on your journey, when you start to really be alone and you start to go down this path, you will start to see synchronicities. And that's really what all of this I'm talking about is synchronicities. And synchronicities are those things that happen that you can't explain, but it just happens for you. And it's the universe showing you that you're on the right path, that you are exactly where you're meant to be. The first synchronicity I really started to see was 222, the numbers 222. And if you don't know what that means, I encourage you to look it up. Just look up what does 222 mean spiritually. And this is probably a sign that the universe is bringing you to go look it up. And so I started to lean into this stuff. And the more I leaned into it, everything was resonating with me. And it was exactly what I was going through. And it was like these little hunches and these little like nuggets that I kept getting that felt so right and so good to me. And so it made me become even more aware. And it made me really start to believe in so much more than I was ever told. It made me believe in so much more than I was ever taught. What it did, though, was it really made me question like everything. And then I almost had to like relearn everything to get like back to where I am now. So it's like you climb up the mountain and then you come down and then you go back up. And it's just so powerful. And it is something that I'm just so grateful for. And I'm so happy to finally be sitting here in this place as a completely different woman, a completely different person. I feel different. I feel like I look different. I feel happier. I feel the more and more that I'm on this earth, I really feel like there is such a plan and a purpose here. We're not just sent here to just live and be slaves. We are sent here to create. We are sent here to find our way, to find our path, to find that divine spark within us, and to trust ourselves, to believe that we are made for more and we are meant to help each other and we're meant to teach each other and we're meant to lean into each other, to really feel this place and bring heaven on earth, and to really believe that that's possible. And if you don't believe it's possible, I hope that you do believe it's possible, because it is. There are so many people on this planet living their absolute best lives. And a lot of them are horrible people. But they have all the money and all the things that they want, and they do whatever they want. And we're all meant to have that. It's written that we are meant to have God's riches, and we are meant to explore and to be free. You have to find it in yourself, and you have to believe it's true. Because if you don't believe it's true, then it's not going to be true for you. You know, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And I think we were all taught that, but that is really true. That is really true. And you really have to focus 100% on your mind. And I still am working on this every day. Like, I've only been on this journey for real, like for a year and a half. But I'm so much further than I was. And I'm really excited for the future, because I know that if they can do it, I can do it. And so can you. We're meant to do it. We're meant to have what we want. We're meant to live our best lives. We're meant to do that. We're meant to change. So keep in mind that we are all meant to change. This universe is not only changing constantly, but it's expanding constantly. And change is inevitable. And I've learned to, like, the more that I resist change, the harder it gets. But when I just realize that change is inevitable and it's what's meant to happen, that is the one thing we can be sure of, is change. That's really helped me. And I think personally, like, being in sales since I was so young, like, things are always changing and every real estate transaction is different. And so I think that always was good that I did start that journey so young, because it did give me this sense of change constantly and just this constant believing in myself and knowing that if I want it, I can have it. I just have to get it. I just have to keep going. I have to keep pursuing. I have to keep making the calls and doing the things I didn't want to do to continue to have the life that I wanted to have. And that's even where I'm at with this podcast. You know, I have to keep going. I have to keep moving forward. I have to keep growing. I have to keep expanding. I have to keep pushing myself and growing myself to continue to be the best, to continue to move forward, and to show myself anything's possible and I can do anything as long as I believe. A couple things that I want to remind you of is to focus on yourself, like 100%. And I haven't dated anyone seriously since the end of 2021. And I still am not ready to date right now. I'm really not trying to do that because I'm just so on my path. I'm just so focused on me, and I'm so focused on getting to where I feel like I'm a genuinely whole person, so that when I do date, it'll be the right person and it will be done right, because I've definitely not done it right in the past. But one thing that is so important is that you genuinely focus on yourself. You give yourself everything you need, whether you need to cry, whether you need to be alone, whether you need to take a bath, whether you need to go on a vacation, whatever you need to do, you need to focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, you're all you got. And if you don't focus on yourself to find your true love for yourself, then you won't ever love yourself genuinely. And so really focus on you. Nothing else matters but you, because if you don't love yourself through and through, then you can't love others how you're meant to love them. And so in my journey of changing and transforming my life, I really focused on me and gave myself what I needed to do and give myself. And focusing on yourself also entails raising your vibration. We live in a vibrational universe. This universe is vibrating, and you have to stay focused on raising your vibration and constantly trying to have the highest frequency possible for your vibration, because that's how you manifest more. And that's how you manifest your best life, is by focusing on your vibration and making sure that you are vibrating at a high frequency and the highest frequency. Now, obviously, you're going to have really, really good days and really bad days. That is what it is. We can't get away from that. We live in a world where we have contrast, and contrast is inevitable, and it is what it is. So contrast is also good because it will show you what you don't want, because you are feeling and seeing both sides. So really focus on your vibration and that you are vibrating at the highest frequency possible, and really focus on the conversations you're having in your head. You know, self-talk is extremely powerful, and mirror work. If you've never tried those, do that. This morning when I woke up, I heard this from a podcast recently, and it's actually a DJ, and he was like, there's days I don't want to get out of bed. And I literally turn on music that makes me feel good. And he's like, I get out of bed and I just immediately start talking in the mirror. I am faith. I am love. I am beautiful. I am made for this life. I am a creator. I am love. I I am abundance. And he just started talking about how he just starts to raise his vibration first thing in the morning. And I haven't heard, I mean, I've heard that, but not to that extent. I've heard like doing affirmations, but that is something I'm going to start implementing in my daily practice. As soon as I get up, I'm going to turn on music that makes me feel good because I love music. If you've been following me, you know I'm obsessed with EDM music. And so I will turn on EDM and I'm going to start self-talking my day into the highest vibration absolutely possible. And I'm going to see like to the what next level that's going to bring me in my life. And you should really start doing that. Be so careful and mindful with the conversations you're having in your head with yourself. And also start to self-talk your way into a higher vibration. And like there are times where I'll do that and I'll just like start telling myself in the mirror, you know, all these things that are just like lifting my soul, and I get chills through my body. Like I just start like zinging. And I genuinely believe that your body gives you signals. And when I feel that like charge, I'm like, that's good. I need to keep doing that. That feels really good. That feels super powerful. I'm going to lean into that. I'm going to continue to do that. And so I encourage you to also do that in the morning and get yourself into an immediate high vibration. And don't worry about what anyone says or thinks, because maybe you'll show them to start doing that and maybe it'll change their life. Also, something I really want to talk about with this whole change is I had to learn how to forgive, and I had to forgive people, and I had to forgive myself. And I really feel like we can probably all resonate with that. So if you can resonate with that, like leave me a comment because I would love to know. But I really had to forgive people, and forgiveness takes time. You know, time does heal all things. So sometimes, you know, there were people in my life that it took a couple days. And then there was, you know, people in my life that it took me over a year to even start the forgiveness process. And then it took almost 2 years to be fully healed. And like to now I'm at the point where I'm like, thank you. Because without that contrast, I wouldn't be here. And so forgiveness is for you. And be patient and give yourself grace. So if you're not, I know that there are people that have done very horrible things to people. And so take your time. And if you need to, you know, talk to someone and get therapy, definitely do that. But give yourself grace. But know that you have to forgive people. You have to. It's the way to freedom. It only keeps you in bondage when you don't forgive those who have hurt you. And forgiving yourself is also extremely important in this journey in life. You have to forgive yourself. And sometimes we don't know. We do things and we don't know the consequences that it has on our lives until we get older, until we learn. And, you know, so just forgive yourself and let yourself heal. But again, be patient with yourself and don't rush it. You know, it takes time. This is a journey. It's a healing journey. It's a lot. There's a lot of levels. There's a lot of layers. And so just take one step at a time and don't be hard on yourself because you're not forgiving quicker or you're not 100% there, whatever. Like just be patient. Just keep doing it. Just keep journaling, keep meditating, keep feeling into it. Just keep focused on you and where you're going and what you want so that you can be the best version of yourself. Absolutely possible. So that's really it for today for my 40th episode. It is very crazy to be here and to be just sitting here as this version of myself. It's awesome. And I hope that it encourages you to go get what you need and to follow your heart and to follow your soul's calling and to follow that thing inside of you that's speaking to you. Just keep leaning into that and keep being brave, because when you're brave and you step out and you face those fears, you gain confidence, self-confidence, and amazing things start to happen for you. So I love you guys very much. Thank you for tuning into my 40th episode of Whitney's World podcast. Please share this with someone. Share my last messages with anyone you know. Please leave your comments. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and be on the lookout for me next week and in the future. I'm really excited to see what's gonna start happening, and I feel called to like a next level, but it is scary. So, it's all a process though, and I'm very thankful. So I love you guys very much. I hope you have an incredible week. Tonight is a full moon. It's Monday. I'm recording, so this will be out Wednesday at midnight, but I'm going to have a little fire tonight under the moon. So I hope everyone has a very safe full moon Monday and a very safe week. It's Easter this weekend, so enjoy your families. I hope you eat very delicious food, and whatever your Easter traditions are, I hope you are filled with love, light, and abundance. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Have a great night and day. Whatever. Peace out. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. And as always, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go.